Hi, let's continue alkanes nomenclature. Okay, we are going to see the substituent. So how we have to name the compound. Okay, so we are going to take the examples now. So we are discussing the rule if chains of equal length are competing for selection as the parent chain in alkanes. In alkanes, we are discussing the alkanes. This is the continuation to the previous one. If the chain of equal lengths are competing for selection as a parent chain, then how the choice will goes, see here, the chain which has the greatest number of side chains, you have to go. Then the chain whose substituents have the lowest number, this is the one. Next, the chain having the greatest number of carbon atoms in the smaller side chain. Next will goes for the chain having the least branched side chains. So these are the things. So these are the overall rules that has been given by IUPAC. So in order to name alkanes, saturated compounds. So it goes for the chains. In general, if you want to give the name of the compound based on number of the carbon atoms, how we're going to define? See, the number of straight chain, that means for the alkane saturated hydrocarbons, for up to a 12 carbon atoms, that means the 12 carbon chain. So we can give as, so we are going to see the examples. The name of the substituents by the removal of formed by the removal of one hydrogen from the end of the chain is obtained by changing the suffix. We have to keep the saturated one as A and E, ane, to il. So we have to change the suffix as ane to il by the replacement of hydrogen atom. For example, methane. Methane will stands for, this is the initial compound, starting compound of alkanes, will stands for CH4. So we are going to replace one of the hydrogen atom. We are going to give as CH3 stands for methyl. So that ane, we are going to remove as THYL. ane we are going to replace with YL. Methane goes for methyl. Similarly, ethane goes for ethyl, so which has two carbon atoms. Then three carbon atoms. Propane will goes as propyl, butane, butyl, hexane, hexyl, octane. Eight carbon atoms, in which ane at suffix replaced with YL, octyl, nonane, nonyl, then decane, decyl, then undecane, 11 carbon atoms, undecyl, so dodecane, 12 carbon atoms, dodecyl. So this is the criteria which has to follow by the replacing of hydrogen. So where we can change the name ane to il. Now, so we have been seeing almost a series of explanations, the rules that going to follow for alkanes naming. So previous we are going to see, we have seen that series of example how to initiate the name and how to go for numbering the substituent. Then we are going to see the examples. Now imagine we have carbon atom chain that goes for, so we have 7 carbon atoms here. These 7 carbon atoms, now imagine we have methyl groups, then followed by then propyl chain, then followed by additional one methyl. Okay, Now where we have to initiate as per the rule, so go for selecting the longest parent chain. Okay, we are going to select the longest parent chain. Then what? So after that we have to go for choosing the substituents. So I have to initiate the numbering for the substituent, lowest number of the substituent. Here we have the two substituents, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Now so if you want to give the name as, go for the substituents in prefix as 2 comma 3 comma lowest number of the substituents. No, then we have to go for the methyl substituent at fifth position. Therefore 2 comma 3 comma 5 trimethyl trimethyl. So we are going to take the longest substituent there at fourth position as 4 propyl 4 propyl 4 propyl. So we have total number of carbon atoms, that stands for 7. So it's nothing but heptane. Heptane. Okay, so we don't have sufficient space, so its total number of carbon atoms are 7. So it's nothing but heptane. Okay, now we'll see another example. So take the carbon chain. So we have 7 carbon atoms. Then so imagine we have 2 methyl substituents at third, then followed by ethyl group here. So how we have to initiate the numbering as per the rule, longest chain. Then so we have the substituent. If you want to give the lowest substituent at third position, so we can go the naming as 4 ethyl 3 comma 3 4 ethyl 3 comma 3 dimethyl. Total number of 3 comma 3 dimethyl. We have heptane. Okay, we can go the naming like this. Now we have another example. Imagine if we have 9 carbon atoms, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So to this carbon atom, imagine we have the methyl, then followed by we have one butyl side chain, then followed by one methyl at the end. So where we have to initiate the numbering. So see here, so now we are going to see the numbering from the carbon atom that have the lowest number of substituent. So we are going to see the lowest number of substituent carbon atom. So to the adjacent butyl chain, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now so this is nothing but secondary butyl. So 5th position 5 secondary butyl, 5 secondary butyl, then goes for 2 comma 7 2 comma 7 we have two methyls, dimethyl, total number of carbon atoms as known in. Okay, so these are the rule to give the name of. So alkanes, so try to practice more number of structures in order to get accurate naming. Okay, we'll see later on.